The Supreme Court has asked the SBI chairman to file an affidavit by 5 p.m. today indicating that all details have been disclosed related to the electoral bonds which were in its possession and no detail has been withheld. The CJI questioned why the SBI has not disclosed the alphanumeric numbers which link the political parties to the donors. He also asked why the SBI had waited for the order, and the first order's language said all details, which means no detail should be withheld, but the SBI was selective in furnishing details in the electoral bond case. Listen in to these excerpts from the hearing.
The disclosure shall be made with effect from the date of the interim order, 12th of April 2019. Right or wrong, we have taken a conscious decision that the cutoff will be the date of our interim order. And we also explain why we took that date. We said after that date, of course, the Constitutional Bench has an option to go all the way back from the date of the bond or from the date of the judgment, some place via media, some via media in between. We took 12th of April 2019 because it was our considered view of all of us five that once that interim order was pronounced, everybody was on notice, what we told Mr. Rothgi. Now we have maintained that.
Now, the SBI, in fact, has said that the codes were not released to maintain anonymity. Earlier, remember, the CJI had, in fact, questioned the SBI as to why they were selective in releasing information. And when the first order, in fact, had said that all details related to electoral bonds have to be released, the CJI did question why the SBI chose to be selective and waited for another order from the court to then release these information. The lawyer, of course, Kapil Sibal, appearing for SBI, did say that all information will be released. Now the Supreme Court has directed the SBI chairman to file an affidavit stating that all details have been disclosed related to the electoral bonds, whatever was in the SBI's possession, and that nothing has been withheld so far. This, of course, includes the alphanumeric numbers. Remember, the alphanumeric numbers are what connect the SBI, the donors with the political parties, which is why it's important to be released, to make the correlation between the donors and the parties, which is important for public consumption. Now, Supreme Court has asked for this information as well, and any other information that the SBI might be having related to electoral bonds that must be released. The SBI said that they will release it. The reason that they did not release these codes, which are not available for the public eye, is they claim anonymity. I have my colleague Sunil joining us more details. So, Sunil, take us through what took place in the hearing. At this point, the SBI is saying that they didn't release the codes to maintain anonymity, but the CJI has asked an affidavit to be filed stating that all details have been released.
That's right. As you rightly pointed out, the State Bank of India Chairman Managing Director will have to file an affidavit once again before the Supreme Court in compliance of the Supreme Court order giving all details of the electoral bonds by Thursday 5 p.m. And the Election Commission forthwith, that is immediately, will make it public in terms of the details of all those bonds, which will be able to actually correlate from the giver to the taker. In that case, the corporates or other companies or other individuals to the political parties who benefited from it. So all those details will have to be correlated and can be correlated from 2019 onwards till date. Having said that, every effort was made to try to delay this entire process. First, starting with Mr. Rothgi appearing on behalf of the business houses to try to delay that entire process. The second, and of course the Chief Justice of India refusing to take cognizance, some of the judges upset saying, we have already passed our judgment, what are you trying to do now at this stage? The other was from the government Solicitor General himself, speaking, trying to dissociate himself from Adish Agrawal, who had tried to make a publicity about asking for a review of the order. The Chief Justice of India handling it very well, saying that we know that you meant publicity, and accepting that the government is dissociating from Mr. Adish Agrawal on this matter. But the Solicitor General, Mr. Tushar Mehta, making a point saying that this is now going to create public interest litigations and so on and so forth. And also joined in by Mr. Hari Salve, which he says this was not the intention of the court. the Chief Justice of India very categorically saying that we are by the rule of the law, by the Constitution, and we, our judgments are public, are in public portrayed in the public platform, and it's for the public to decide, and it can be criticized, but we go as per the rule of law. So very clearly, the State Bank of India, in terms of transparency, accountability, as well as probability, will have to disclose all details to the Election Commission, which will basically be able to tell people the correlation. Of course, the government, as you saw from the business houses, they were not happy. Every attempt was made, but the Chief Justice of India and his bench, the Constitutional Bench, were very clear and very firm of ensuring that all should be disclosed. One point to note, between 2018 and 19, that details which had been given in the seal cover, Mr. Prashant Bhushan wanted those to be made public, because there are some political parties, for example, the regional parties, the JDS, the RJD, the NCP, other smaller parties who have actually disclosed the donors. But big parties like the BJP, like the Congress, like the Trinamool Congress have refused to give those details, saying that they do not know the donors, or verbatim reproducing the details given to them by the State Bank of India, and so on and so forth. So it's in that context we'll have to wait and see. But that alphanumeric number, the unique number, which has a security feature, can be seen only in ultraviolet rays, is now going to be made public, so that everybody, you and me, can be able to understand how this is going to play out on the and in terms of ensuring the correlation between the giver and the taker.